So let's now start with the background of the study. So from the title now, you now have the background of the study. Now, when we start writing the background of the study in Quanti, okay, in Quanti, you start writing about the DV. Okay, the first paragraph, the problem, wag na lang itong first paragraph. This is actually the order in your background of the study. It will not necessarily be na 4 paragraphs lang yan. Kasi when it comes to undergrad, I don't know kung ilang pages ang inyong background of the study. So far, the most kasi is 3 pages, 2 to 3 pages ang background of the study. So what's important in the background of the study is that you have this order. Should be at the beginning of the background of the study is the problem, the literature, the gap, and the dissemination plan. Okay, let's start with quanti. Okay, so in quanti studies, okay, in quantitative studies, when you say background of the study, first paragraph, what should be emphasized if you have the IV and the DV? It should be the DV, okay? The problematic situation in the DV, okay? Then the second paragraph will still be about the DV, emphasizing still about the problem. Then the third paragraph, you now have, pero the second paragraph is a literature about the DV now, okay? Then the third paragraph is about the IV. Then the fourth paragraph will be about the IV and DV. Okay? And then the fifth paragraph will be the gap. And the last paragraph will be the dissemination plan. Okay. Now, when we talk about background of the study in the quanti, it's easier actually to follow kasi may IVDV ka man. Basta always put in mind, ang always in the first paragraph is the dependent variable, problem of the dependent variable, followed by the IV. Okay? Followed by the DV literature, then the IV, then the IV and DV, then the gap dissemination plan. That's the flow in the background of the study for quanti. Okay? For the quali, okay, for the quali, you don't have the IV and DV. But in the background of the study, still it's the same thing. You are going to tell a story. Okay? Uh, for there are actually literatures that say na for quali, you should be writing in the first person, mag-I ka. But there are times actually, and often sa atin na mag-quali necessarily I, okay lang naman. Kasi there are actually quantity studies that uses first person. There are actually. So, what's important in the background of the study, pag quali, is that you try to write, you try to use keywords and keywords like experiences in writing. Do not use the words variables and indicators in quali background of the study. Do not mention variables na, let's say for example, you're talking about the experiences of hospital pharmacists. Okay? So then you in your background of the study, when you talk about experiences of hospital pharmacies, you try to you try to write about yung experiences like it could be difficulty, challenges, mga ganun na mga keywords. Do not try to write in the background of the study na you talk about na uh, indicators of stress among hospital pharmacies, mga ganon. Kasi more or less, ang writing talaga is quanti, not really quali. But in terms of flow, sa quali, when you write the background of the study, pareho pa rin. The flow, starting pa rin sa problem, literature, gap, and dissemination plan. So that's the common. Ang kaibahan lang in quanti writing is that there should be the first paragraph should be allotted for the DV. Unlike in the quali, you just mainly talk about the problem of the issue itself, the generality. Ano yung focus mo doon? Okay? Yan siya. Now, another thing, okay, this is an example of a study that I got from the copy yung binigay ni Ma'am Ferlin. Kindly look at kindly read carefully this choice A. Okay. So you have there self-medication is a common practice people usually comply with. Moreover, self-medication is defined as a process of consuming medication for oneself. Further, yan. Okay? Now, letter B, choice for quantity. According to the World Health Organization, self-medication can lead to problems because of incorrect diagnosis of illness, not knowing drug-drug and drug-food interactions, excessive or prolonged use of medication, and even risk of drug dependence because of drug misuse. Okay? Now, I just got the two paragraphs, which you can actually be able to differentiate. Okay? I'm not saying na may mali. Actually, hindi. Tama man siya kasi nandun sa background of the study. Tama. I'm just asking you now, which of the two choices do you think is better to emphasize in the first paragraph? Which of the two choices is better to emphasize in the first paragraph? Is it B or is it A? A, you have self-medication is a common practice, okay, defined as a process. B, according to the World Health Organization, self-medication can lead to problems. So which of the two choices do you think is better to emphasize in the first paragraph? Okay, correct. Yung B. Okay, it's the second. Okay? Bakit po ang second? May I ask?
Can may I,
Yes po, Doc Sania, yes po.
kasi ito supported by an authority, World Health Organization. So para bang it ably defines what self-medication is, and it actually also states ano bang pwedeng maging mangyari, anong pwedeng maging gap.
Okay. Thank you po, Doc Sonia. So you have the citation, you have World Health Organization, and then you have also the pwedeng maging gap. Okay? What else? Sir Von?
Ano po, I think po kasi this phrase or this paragraph supports the idea na meron talagang problem. That's why parang mas maganda siyang gamitin to yun para strengthen yung idea of the problem.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Von. That's true. Okay? Choice B actually has the problem. Nasa kanya actually yung problem. Okay? So, it would mean that it's better that you transfer the sentence doon sa gawin mong first paragraph because this would actually emphasize the problem. And dito din, you can actually see na there's something, may gap, parang may gap doon sa mga sinasabi or na-conduct na study. Okay? So, if you're going to compare actually dito sa A has a definition, but take note when you try to write the background of the study, you're not actually concerned with the definition or the facts na yan lang. Okay, you are concerned with, again, go back ang problematic issue. So the first paragraph should be about the problem, and the problem should be about this one as a result of self-medication. But how are you going to write this one better? How are you going to write this one in a way that you would say na that's a better first paragraph? Anong dapat meron pa dito to say na, that's really a problem? Kasi dito sa choice B, it's just said that self-medication can lead to problems because of incorrect diagnosis of illness at knowing, okay, ano siya. But how are you going to revise this one in such a way that really it's a problem, it's a problematic issue? Paano? You have to identify now statistical data. You can say that 25% of 25% of the 25% of 25% of incidents in hospitals are actually about incorrect diagnosis of illness concerning ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. Okay? And there's an even higher risk of drug dependence uh, amounting to pila ka percentage. Then you cite World Health Organization 2012. And then you continue with emphasizing the problem. Ang ano kasi sa quantity is that when we emphasize problem, there should be a statistical data. Mag-percent ka. Para pagbasa pa lang sa first paragraph, ing ana de ka, grabe ang problema, no? Kay 25% good, or let's say 30% good siya. Okay? Now, what if you cannot find a statistical data? Then you have to find literature that would actually give an idea to the reader na ganun ka-severe ang problem. Okay? Not necessarily based on numbers. But usually, pag quanti kasi, when you do quanti problem, quanti, first paragraph, problematic issue, always you can find actually percentage na mga data. Okay? Parati mo siyang makita actually. Okay? Next. Okay, for quali. Okay, you now have here choice A, you have risk of healthcare workers is one of the greatest vulnerabilities of healthcare systems worldwide. Although several thousands of healthcare workers were already infected, the prevention of intra-hospital transmission of COVID-19 has been deemed priority and still a major concern. Okay, the line of work of healthcare workers during this pandemic also puts them under tremendous pressure. Okay, it's choice A. Then choice B, the Filipinos are known to be resilient despite going through many disruptions. The widespread coronavirus affected the economy, community lifestyle, and the struggle of the Philippines healthcare system in addressing the needs of the pandemic. As Paul Quinto stated in his policy paper, blah, blah, blah. So which do you think of the two choices is better to emphasize in the first paragraph? B or A? Saan ang better to emphasize in the first paragraph? Is it A or will it be B? What do you think? Saan ang dapat better actually? Kasi itong dalawang paragraph na sa first, na sa background of the study yan. Pero saan ang magandang i-emphasize in the first paragraph? This one, A, or this one, B? This is already for quali.
May I ask a question mo na, ma'am, before I answer?
Yes
kasi,
po.
Sa A kasi, masyado specific yung healthcare workers. Ay, ano yan? Ano yan? Yeah, healthcare workers. Samantalang dito sa ating B, generalized siya as Filipinos. Kaya nga, I cannot choose which one of the two is better, not unless we want to generalize na lahat ng Pilipino are resilient. And so, pagdating doon sa A, pakibalik sa A, ma'am, yun siya, vulnerable daw ang mga healthcare workers. So, I cannot choose. Alin bang unahin ko? Or should I first start with the pandemic muna before I discuss sino ba ang aking concern? Ang Filipinos in general who are resilient or ang health workers who are vulnerable?
Which of the two, ma'am, have really issues about problem? The problematic issue talaga.
Healthcare workers.
Is it?
Ang healthcare.
Okay, so healthcare worker. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so actually, si A talaga dapat yung ilagay nyo as to be emphasized in the first paragraph po. Kasi nga, it's clear na in this letter A, you have the problem about healthcare workers. The keyword there is the vulnerabilities. Kasi if you're going to look at this one, B, para kasi siyang sa newspaper lang, general, okay, about resilience, it's about coronavirus, but then again, take note, if you're going to study about coronavirus ka nag-start, it would mean na medyo, if you're going to put this one as the first paragraph, it's quite general, like you said, ma'am. General kay siya,
Yes.
coronavirus. Okay?
Yes.
So it would mean you are not really hitting right away the problematic issue. Unlike for this one, sa letter A, automatic, you're talking automatically about the problem of healthcare workers. So, to-target mo kaagad siya.
Yeah.
Okay? So, tama yung ano mo, Ma'am Son. Tama yung na-notice mo actually.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome po. So, this one, if you notice also the writing, okay? If you notice also the writing, you notice na medyo magkapareho lang ang writing sa quanti and quali, right? Walang difference sa writing style ng quanti and quali. Meaning, parang you will know na quali siya if you are going to go back to the title. Quali pala siya. Pag ano pa pag hindi mo tingnan yung title, ano ba ito? Quanti or quali? Why is that so? Kasi nga, if you're going to look at it, ang keyword na nagamit dito na we can say it's more or less it's quali because of the vulnerabilities. Okay? And then you also have factors, different factors. Okay? So, kumbaga pa, when you write in quali, background of the study, you do not use this keyword factors. Okay? You write it or you recast it in such a way that you will be really talking about the quali, the experiences now. You can revise it, recast it, you emphasize only in the increasing risk of developing psychological problems. You emphasize on this one. Do not mention it as a factor. Okay? Although difficult siya actually kasi nga, when you write kasi quali, you are more of reflective kasi of experience. Unlike when you write in the quanti, you are more of a technical, more or less, kasi you are concerned with variables. Sa quali kasi is hindi. Okay? Pero like I said, when you write in quali, background of the study, you do not use the word factors. Okay? Now, do we need to have statistical data also for quali? Actually, pwede siya. You can start with statistical data, but you focus on the percentage of individuals who experience vulnerabilities according to mga ganon. Okay? Siya.